Welcome back, fellow lords of gaming, to another episode of Marvel Future Fight. And today we're jumping into the patch notes for the upcoming Eternal Update. So let's jump right on in because it's kind of a little bit of a lot. So in this patch, we're basically getting Makari from the Eternals. We know, thanks to CM Cage, that we're definitely getting more Eternals coming up. That's really good. I'm gonna imagine, for the life of me, for some reason, I'm just gonna put it out there that I believe that we're gonna end up with all of the Eternals from the movie. They are celebrating the diversity of this movie in a major way, and I feel like we're gonna get it. So all of them. I don't feel like there's gonna be room to leave out any of these Eternals. So let's talk about this. So we got Makari, and we've got her stats. Obviously, she's going to be a speed superhero female. We've got the leadership, fast movement, Eternals. Okay, so she has a leadership tag inside here. She has fast movement. She definitely has Eternals. And here goes how she's going to be acquired. Now, this might turn some people off because she's going to be acquired through the epic quest, the fate of mankind. All right. So she also has this instinct order. I'm still not really, sold on this this whole, badge and instinct thing or whatever. Like, I just feel like they could have just put the badge without having to put whatever. We'll see. But she's got a pretty shit leadership in terms of it. So we got all allies increase all speed by 6%. That's a fairly, common speed, T3 or leadership, and it sucks. I don't know why they keep giving that. It's trash. Anyways, her passive, let's see what she's giving. Her passive applies to herself, so she's getting 30% ignore defense and 30% to ignore dodge. Then she's getting her tier 2 passive. We got increased dodge rate by 30% and a 50% chance to penetrate on her tier 2, so that's pretty good. Decrease basic damage received by 30%. Skill number 1, we knew she basically had stun on there for 3 seconds. And skill number 2, we basically knew it was a counterattack skill. It's applying fracture, incapacitation, and paralysis. That's nice. She's removing all debuffs. That's actually nice. And this is all on a 2 skill. So that's crazy. That's on a 2 skill. Wow. Okay. And then on her 3rd skill, she's getting 100% chance for immunity to all damage. And so she actually has an accumulation skill on her tier 3, as on her 3rd skill. Excuse me, not her tier 3. Her 3rd skill, and she has a pretty decent accumulation skill. It increases all basic attacks. The total chance for immunity accumulation, 10% of true damage dealt. So that's good too. That is dealt to enemy instead of you're taking. A lot of times you put the only one that it seems to really work for, I mean, it works for, Captain America now with his improved T3, but really works for Sharon Rogers. We know she's the global standard for when you're taking damage, dealing it back. Psionic Sprint, so it's like the 2 skill basically I put over here because there's absolutely nothing on this 4 skill. Stun, and that's it. There's absolutely nothing on there. Number 5, so her 5th skill, she has paralysis, and then she gets her invincibility and increases basic damage by 100% for 1 attack. So this is just a lead-in for a skill, basically. So basically right now I'm seeing you probably rotating something like, what do we go, 2, 3, 5? Yeah, we'll see. And we saw how her uniform was. So this information right here is basically all the new uniforms. We're getting them 40% off. Basically, it's $10 per uniform if you had to look at the crystal cost for the uniforms. $10. That's basically what they are, right? So this is her base layer skills. This is going to be interesting because this is her base layer. This is not her uniform skills. These are the base stats for her skills. So, and those are pretty impressive. Like the skill animations themselves, they didn't look so great, but the stats on those, they do. So let's see. So we got Icarus getting his new uniform. He has that leadership inside there. The uniform effect is going to boost his chain hit damage by 10% and decrease basic damage received by 25%. Cosmic Rush is getting changed, so he's getting a boost to his 3rd skill. 35% burn damage is happening on that skill. Let me pull this up real quick so that way I make sure I'm not talking out my ass when I talk about this character. I've got my Icarus just about ready to go. So yeah, he's tier 2 and he's level 60. So let's see this. Let's see. skills. So his third skill was Salvation Blow. It's now being called Cosmic Rush. He's still dealing the 35% burn damage, stun, silence. Yeah, okay. The incapacitation is still there. 100% chance for immunity to all damage for 5 seconds. Accumulates 10% of true damage dealt to the enemy. That's still there with a 6%. Okay. The cooldown time is still 18 seconds. I don't see very much in terms of stats. I guess it's just the animation effect, because the stats overall are pretty much exactly the same. Like, I'm not even joking you. The only difference here is that the energy damage is 122%, so it's actually representative of a nerf on his skill, because it was previously 125, now it's 122. So what the fuck? Did we just change the animation of the skill? That's it? Like, maybe I'm missing something here. But this looks like it's the exact same skill with a nerf. Okay, that's not good. And then we have Eternal Blast. That was the former skill, and now it was already an ignore targeting skill on there. Okay, so the skill effects are the same with the modern. The difference is the casting time of the laser shoot has increased. So that would be a nerf. Why would the okay. So this uniform doesn't look like it's changing very much for him. He's basically getting the chain hit damage and then the 25%. So I guess the majority of the stuff is gonna. You might not need to purchase this uniform. Let's just put it that way. This uniform might not need to be purchased. So if you have Icarus, I would wait till you see this. Makari. So this is interesting because she's got her uniform. I think I can pop this out up here. So let's take a look at that as we pop this out down here. We basically have her uniform effect is when Hurricane skill is used. So she's getting a 10% recovery on her HP, which is nice to have. Anytime a hero gets recovery HP, that's always going to be good. Then we get on her Eternal Sonic Boom skill, so her active 1 skill. So instead of being called Sonic Punch, it's now called Sonic Punch. It's called Eternal Sonic Boom. It's the same. What the fuck? I'm confused here, because if you look at this, you can see it's stun 2 seconds, physical damage 75% of physical attack. This one is 100 additional 1067 physical damage, but this one is 1000. Not even 1000, 178. I wonder if this is a typo right here. What the fuck? Okay. So that looks like there's a nerf. We'll have to see when the game's actually released. And then her third skill, the damage has decreased compared to the modern skill, but the hit count has increased, increasing the skill damage. Okay. So not a lot of change there on her uniform. We know that a lot of the animations looked better to me in terms of when the uniform was showed, but we'll get more into it when the update is actually done. Anyway, so now we're moving along to Cersei, and we have her uniform from Marvel Studios. She's basically, let's see, what was Cersei? Cersei, let me make sure I pull this up. So Blast. Cersei was a Blast type. Where's my girl Cersei at? She was a Blast type, right? Yeah. Okay, here she goes. Cersei actually was already pretty goddamn decent. So it'll be interesting to see what she has coming inside here anyway. So she's getting a 30% increase of recovery rate and a decreased basic damage received by 30%. Okay, so that should be interesting. So decreases basic damage received by 30% and enhances effects of Eternal Cleansing and Cosmic Focus. Okay, so her Eternal Cleansing is her passive skill. Eternal Ally, it applies to all Eternal Allies. It removes all debuffs for 10 seconds. What the fuck? Okay, so the only difference on this skill is literally the cooldown time has increased. So that's a nerf. Because now it's going to be every 10 seconds instead of every 9 seconds. And then it removes all debuffs for 12 seconds versus 10 seconds. I am so confused. I'm so confused because that's a nerf. What the fuck? That's a nerf. I don't get it. Okay. Anyways, let's keep looking. Cosmic Focus applies to Eternal's allies. Basically, before it had to increase all basic attacks by 30%. Now it's going to increase basic damage dealt to supervillain faction by 30% and decrease the damage received from the supervillain faction by 30%. So that is a significant buff, right? Because we only had the 30%. This is basically accounts for a 60% boost in terms of her passive skill being used for Eternal allies. So she's going to be good there. So next up skill that we have is her third skill, which was previous Energy Shield and is now called Cosmic Sphere. We've got stun on that ability before. Now we have paralysis. So and it ignores immunity. Previously the stun did not, which wasn't probably going to happen. This one has a 15% recovery of HP, which wasn't there before. And then we see the rest is pretty much the same. Her energy damage at the bottom there is actually increased as well to 80%. So everything else is the same, except for the paralysis has changed, and now she has a recovery of the HP on there for max 15. So that's a pretty damn good buff if you had to ask me. Next up is her fourth skill, which was previous Phantom Blast. Now it's called Enchanted Telekinesis. It looks like the skill effects are the same with the modern, but the skill range and hit count has increased. Meanwhile, why am I reading this? Yeah. Okay, so everything else is the same. All right. So it'll be interesting to see there. So then we've got Icarus's T3 skill, which how to say this skill. But Icarus's T3 skill basically bore down to another Sentry, Blue Marvel, Hyperion-like skills. So not a lot in terms of, player, like there wasn't a lot there. So what I would like to do though, since it looks so familiar to like to Sentry, for instance, let's compare I'll compare the stats on Sentry's tier 3 versus his. So let's see what we got here. So on his, he has silence, he has stun, and he's dealing 50% burn damage. Okay, those are what they are. We've got 80% penetration to penetrate, invincible, and then we've got increased basic damage by 50% for one attack. This is about the same as if you looked at like Sentry or Blue Marvel. Sentry has a higher basic damage output, is 80%, and then he also has a frenzy buff that's on his that doesn't seem to be on So I want to show you this because I want to show you what I mean by the skills. Like Icarus should probably be Sentry level, so it's kind of weird. But if you look at Sentry's buff here, right? So if I was to look at Sentry's buff in terms of this skill for here, you can see that there's an increase of all basic by 50, that frenzy, and even his basic damage is 80% for the one attack or whatever. So there's a higher, window of stats for his. So we'll have to see how that works out. Doesn't necessarily say is the best thing, but Icarus needs to be advanced to tier 3 through the epic quest Fate of Mankind, Outsiders Off Limits Clear reward. So that's going to be interesting because we actually tier 3 Sentry through the epic quest as well. So my hope is that if we are tier 3ing Icarus through epic quests, that he is going to be good, if not as good, equally good or better than Sentry. He should be. But the weird part is that we also need to level up these other heroes through the epic quest. So basically they both are going to have this potential awakening, and they both seem pretty vanilla here. Paralysis, critical rate increase, critical damage increase. Basically, for you guys that haven't played this game or are looking into jumping in, these critical rate increases and stuff like that, if they're on the skills where the skill has an uptime a lot, so not really on these skills, but if they're on other skills, this allows you to avoid having to invest so much in those skills. But since this is on their buff and that's a 30-second cooldown, you pretty much not. Cersei can realize transcend. Basically, both of them. Cersei's needs to be transcended and realized through the epic quest Fate of Mankind. Makari can be advanced up to tier 2 through the epic quest reward. but then you have to realize her potential like you do normal other heroes. Okay, so basically Cersei and Icarus are getting that, and then you can tier 2 Makari through the epic quest. Okay, so that's cool. So this epic quest is going to be different. I think this is going to be what everybody's looking at in terms of content updates to the game. The new Eternal Themes quest has been updated. See stories of each Eternals hero who fights for our future. Okay, so like this is going to be interesting because we're basically going to probably end up across the board with a story quest for each of the Eternal characters that come out, which should be interesting. It's going to make me a little nervous because of the time that you usually have to invest and the materials that you usually have to invest inside characters inside there. You could be now the good thing is that it gives you something to drive for as a free-to-play player, because not a lot, usually there's only one character in the bunch, but since they're going to be releasing so many, we don't really know. So the Fate of Mankind, A Modern Crisis, Cersei, if you don't have her, this is the way you're going to get her. And the Fate of Mankind, Outsiders off, well, everybody should have her already. A Fate of Mankind, Outsiders off limits. Agents need to possess Icarus as a tier 2 to enter the story of Icarus. We are sorry for misinforming that tier 2 Icarus will be given when entering the story of Icarus through the October live stream. So basically, CM Cage and CM Kim basically got it wrong inside there. Yeah. So that's kind of sucked. That kind of sucks that he's gonna be the shifter rewards, because yeah, that's pretty shitty. Anyways, but so it's kind of sucky for. I mean, you can still collect him pretty much. But it's gonna suck. You basically need to have him tier 2 at the very bare minimum to get him there. So I'm hoping the requirements to get him to tier 3 are not as high, but for some reason I have a feeling that they will be. The Fate of Mankind Space Race Makari, you basically need to purchase the epic quest, so she's probably going to cost you like 6,000 crystals. So it's inside here, so you can see there's Modern Crisis, Icarus is required, and you see Makari, and you see there's at least another 3 heroes inside here. I'm going to imagine that this is going to be Ajax or Athena. I'm just going to let you know that right now. I got a feeling that this is going to be Ajax or Athena inside here. Agents can now see the stories of them. All right. We'll see how that works out. When you start a story, another story cannot be selected until you clear the quest. So most likely, I think most people are going to run for Icarus to get him to tier 3 and then go with the other characters. Right now, on the outside looking in, I would say Cersei's probably going to be the one most players will want, so it's going to be funny. When first entering the Fate of Mankind and Modern Crisis story, agents can acquire tier 2 6-star Cersei. Cersei will be advanced to tier 2 for agents who possess Cersei below tier 2. And biometrics will be given to agents who possess Cersei at tier 2 or higher. Okay, that's good. All right, so like I already have her at tier 2, so that it doesn't penalize me. So we can see inside here, you're gonna have all these stories that you're gonna have: Reclaim Memory, Broken Harmony, True Evolution. And this science and research is usually tied to this right here. Looks like there's only 2 archives and then the story, and then this quest pack right here is you're going to be purchased if you purchase Makari. So here goes the actual cost for it. Okay, so why is this one cleared out right now? It's weird, but basically this quest pack is going to be 4,400 crystals to basically unlock Makari. So 4,400 crystals, that's $44 straight up. It's $44. This one is probably going to be 6,000. So you keep in mind that when you purchase the 6,000 one, you get back probably the 1,000 XP crystals, and I can't see what the rewards are here, but usually you're getting back crystals inside here, which usually discounts this price. So the price of the special quest, so the special quest pack is going to be $29.99 versus you purchasing the crystal pack at 4,400 crystals. So basically it's a $14 difference by just paying the $29.99. So basically, Makari is going to cost you $30 to purchase. That's basically what you're looking at. Space Race can be purchased in app and acquire the basic. Yeah, okay, so we can see that right there. 1,000 crystals and 2,000 VIP points on purchase. All right. Can progress the fate of mankind, acquire Makari 1-star, unlock the stage madness ensues. Okay, so there we go. So you got $29.99, $30 that you have to. That's based on the Google Play Store, US. Acquire items through there. So we only have 2 items, Celestials and Cosmic Energy. Completion reward is a why this is what I'm talking about when I tell you guys they always give it and take it away. Nobody gives a fuck about a 6-star ESO 8 anymore. Like, it's a like, all right, whatever. Now you can see what the theme the mankind rewards are inside here by purchasing those. There are none. Clear stories, no specific stage. Cersei, Icarus, gear up, and then Black Panther, Icarus level 4 XP chips. Okay, yeah, that's what the rewards are. It is what it is. $29.99 inside the game, basically, for Makari. She better be good. I would say avoid paying for it until you've seen some of the YouTubers like myself make some kind of decision on whether or not she's good or bad. The last thing you want to do is pay $30 for a character that's trash. Usually the characters that are the Epic Quest, crystal walled characters, paywalled characters, they're not bad. They're usually good. Like Moonstone is, teeing off. So typically they're not bad. If they're in the Epic Quest, the characters are usually not bad. Exclusive passive skill artifacts from Makari and Cersei and Icarus have been added. Okay, so that's basically the new items that they basically had. Basically, you can come inside the game now and you can get these artifacts, right? And these artifacts are kind of like battle badges inside Marvel Future Revolution. So let me kind of show you those real quick. Yeah. So, and this is what I meant by they're not stupid in Marvel Future Revolution, and I wanted to show you guys this while I was sick, and I was like totally fucking out of it. And this is gonna be one of those things I'll probably bring up in another video when I discuss battle badges. But notice inside here, you basically have the all-encounting what looks like a battle badge, right? It looks like a battle badge from Marvel Future Revolution, and you can see on there it has some kind of stat, like it says destruction increase 40, increase critical damage by 3%, and additional 2% of destruction damage, which is what her class skill is, goes there. And then it also adds an additional passive skill. So each character already has 2 passive skills, but this would be the exclusive stat. Add this passive goddamn skill on the battle badge. Increase all basic attacks by 10% and an additional 2% for total instinct, right? That's what the fuck we should have inside Marvel Future Revolution. All right, I'm gonna bring that up again when I discuss battle badges here coming up, but that's what we should be having inside this game. It just makes sense. And even the method of acquisition of these things is pretty awesome. Like, so for instance, if you go inside the shop, there's an artifact badge right there, right? And you can purchase them if you want to for, these tokens right here, 110 of these tokens or whatever. Not enough artifact tokens, right? Or you can legitimately just come over here, get one for free daily. You're not going to get anything necessarily good, but you can dismantle this, right? So I can dismantle these, and then you have the one that you can purchase every day, like this over here, right? And I can purchase these and hopefully get something good, but they raise in costs, so I'm going to get something. This is a great way of adding in a system. Like, I'm going to be 100% honest. This is a great way of adding in a system and gate locking it, because the only way for you to acquire these is literally by playing the game. And literally, when you want to get one of these advanced ones that you literally need to use, you have to get these 25 celestial tokens, and the only way you're acquiring those celestial tokens is by having acquired these artifacts and dismantling by playing the fucking game. Now, to my timeline survival is not a really efficient way of doing it, but once you do those, you can get these badges essentially for 6-star. I'm going to assume that we're going to get red stars on these somewhere, and then down the road you can see this. It applies a random substat for you, it applies a secondary substat, and then it also gives that character an additional passive on their skills. That is what we should have inside Marvel Future Revolution for our battle badges. Let us hunt those down. It would be far better. And then we can see the issue of Wolverine occasionally performing an awkward motion before attacking when used. Basic attack has been fixed. All right, so those are the updates for the game that are coming with the patch. We can see that the patch should be happening tonight. So make sure that you've played. You know what? Because we're getting an epic quest, I'm going to let you guys know right now when the game resets at 11 o'clock today. Because the game is getting a patch and we're getting an epic quest, make sure that you are not playing through any of your missions, because how the epic quest usually has you go tag inside of this game mode, that game mode, or whatever in order to complete things. So I'm going to say that when it resets, you probably want to wait till the patch is released so that way you could do it. Now if you don't have that time, then go ahead and just complete your shit right now. But otherwise, if you're going to have the time, once the patch is completed, and it's saying 2100 Pacific Standard Time. So 2100 is what, 9 o'clock. So that's like 12 o'clock Eastern Time. I would say wait, so that way you have those things available to you to complete the epic quest, and you're not having to wait till tomorrow. It is a way to get you a jump start on the epic quest. All right, so I want to jump into the last bit of these where it's the events and sales going on. Basically, the new relay pack has been prepared. This is always the whale purchases right here. You basically have to purchase them in steps. Premium hero chest $4.99, premium hero chest $9.99. And you're basically just paying for the crystals at this point, right? So all the way up to $100, you get some crystals. You're getting Titan component packs, Essence of Dimensions, and then back here we're getting the Mega Advance ticket and crystals and gold, and then we're getting crystals and whatever premium chest, crystals. All right, so like basically you're paying for the crystals inside of these is what you're paying for. These are the crystal reward packs, and you're basically looking at $200 in purchases for this relay pack. This is the whale pack, and it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for you to purchase this. You don't have to purchase this as a free-to-play player. This is the whale pack. Leave this to the whales. Then you have Makari super speed chests. Let's see what's inside these comic cards and materials that will help. Okay, all right. So they routinely release these, and you're basically getting some items from Makari Super Speed Chest. You can purchase 3 of them 3 times. That's about $30. And then you can purchase these 10 times. That's another $30. So $60 in all between these, and you're getting crystals every single time. So you're basically getting these crystals. Now, the problem that I have with this pack is that you have these chances at getting these rewards. You're more than likely going to end up with these rewards, especially these Norn Stones of Chaos and the random black antimatter, this is probably one thing in the pack that you want, but you're probably not going to get. I'm going to be honest with you. You're most likely going to end up with comic cards and Norn Stones of Chaos, and therefore this is not worth it unless you are going to be purchasing these specifically for the crystals, because otherwise it's not worth it. Usually these have bios inside of them, but because Makari is going to be inside the Witcher Call, we're not going to be able to purchase these for bios. So it makes this pack relatively worthless. This is 100% worthless. Don't purchase this. Do not purchase this. This is really stupid to be purchasing crystals now too, because the November is right around the corner, and we normally have the Black Friday sale where it's double crystals experiences. No reason to purchase this at all. I think a lot of players are going to skip out on a lot of these purchases anyways. We also have the celebration update event that's coming. So basically you're clearing stages for the, oh look, they got pumpkin tokens. I don't think we've ever had fucking pumpkin tokens or Halloween tokens inside of Marvel Future Fight. I cannot recall or remember seeing anything Halloween themed in this goddamn game. Event tokens, you're basically clearing these stages in order to get these event tokens, and once you complete the event tokens, this is really cool, right? We always end up with the CTPs that's inside here, and you can purchase that, and you're going to get some kind of CTP. The good thing is, like I was talking to my man King from one of the other channels, and he was like, but a lot of things is random. Yeah, well, getting a random rage, a random judgment, a random regeneration, energy, destruction, authority, even at this point, an insight, or even, not so much these refinement, patience, and transcendence. Those are the ones you don't want to see, but any of these other ones is pretty good. If you don't want to deal with that random reward, you don't have to deal with the randomness of this reward. You could literally jump in and you can purchase any one of these things. So you could purchase a mega rank up ticket, you could purchase cosmic cube fragments, titan components, and anything of the sort from here. So you only have to deal with this randomness of this game if you want to deal with the randomness of this game. You can acquire up to 40 Halloween special chests. That's pretty good. And then we have the all uniforms are 40% off sales. So that's cool because all uniforms off. But I'm going to let you guys know right now, don't purchase this. Don't purchase all the uniforms because they will be 50% off when we get to November's Black Friday sale. So don't do it. Growth bonus missions are going to be inside here. So we're going to basically get in universal type kits for reaching tier 3 for Icarus. We're going to get basically awakening her is going to give us level 5 uniform XP chips. These are always good. Rank 1 type speed enhancements, awaken her potential. And the really cool thing is I didn't realize for a while that to get these rewards you only need to awaken a character. You don't actually need to transcend them. That's pretty cool. And then we're going to have the uniform rank up achieve. This reward needs to be changed because right now our method of obtaining uniform upgrade kits is relatively easy. We jump inside the dimension support shop, like so. For instance, you go inside the dimension mentions and you go to the support shop, and every day we're able to just go over here and exchange this for about 1,500 uniform upgrade kits. So when you look at me getting 1,500 uniform upgrade kits on a daily basis, and I'm not even using those. So like if I was to go in my inventory, for instance, and where are my uniform upgrades, rank up material, maybe, let me see. You can see I'm at like 21,000 in terms of upgrade kits. So, it's not, I don't feel like that's a reward. That reward needs to change. Marvel Future Revolution seems to do that quite a bit. And then we can see the Epic Quest stage biometric events. We're getting Black Panther biometric. I don't know why we're getting reclaim memory deviant diversion. Why are we getting biometrics for Black Panther? That just seems like such a weird thing, right? Like, I don't know. Why are we getting Black Panther? It would have been nice if they added Hyperion probably as a fucking biometric inside there. That would have been good. And then we're getting the rank 1 black antimatter and Norn Stones. Those black antimatter always good to have. Character ranking for Cersei and Makari. And then we've got the opening celebration coupon distribution. So okay guys, you're finishing out the video here. You got to the end. This is what the fuck we're gonna get in probably Marvel Future Revolution. All right, the Marvel Studios Eternals opening celebration coupon distribution will be distributed in celebration. Guys, I don't think we're getting freaking Marvel Eternals inside the game. We're probably going to get a coupon code inside Marvel Future Revolution. If you actually read the Korean stuff and you go to the Korean boards and translate the Koreans, that's what it sounds more like. Not that we're getting them. We don't even have character images at this point. There was no leak. There was a leak for this coupon code. So basically tomorrow you'll be able to put in this code right here inside your Eternals movie, and it's going to give you a coupon basically, or it's going to give you some kind of crystals or some shit like that probably. So yeah, we're not getting Marvel Future Revolution. Marvel Future Revolution is not getting Eternals. Trust me, it's not fucking happening. And I'm gonna love to be right. I'm gonna love to be right. And if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. But I'm gonna love to be right because so many people keep saying that shit, and I'm like, we're not getting Eternals inside Marvel Future Revolution. There was no leak. It was no leak. Trust me, that was simply just a coupon code that's going out. All right, guys. So that's the Marvel Future Fight update that's coming to you tonight in waves, and it'll be done around 12 o'clock. Make sure that you log in after that, and remember what I said. Do not do any of your character rank up events and stuff like that you would normally do on a day-to-day basis, because you're going to need them for this event. I'm sorry I got this out to you guys so late, but I was up hella late. For most of you guys know that I was playing side Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to jump on that today as well and start giving you some content for that, and I'm going to be broadcasting and streaming that. So if you're interested, jump on later on, and you'll probably see me on the YouTube streaming channel pushing out some Guardians of the Galaxy content. All right, guys, until next time, peace.